In this video I will show you how to set up GBDK 2020 and also get hold of an emulator for running our Game Boy games. And I'll also show you how to create a shortcut for being able to use Emulicious. As it's a runnable jar file, we'll need to create a wrapper to be able to run it and use it with our Game Boy ROMs later on. So open up your browser, navigate to GBDK 2020 GitHub, go to releases and download the latest 64-bit Linux version. As you can see, I've already got it here, so I won't download it again. Next, go to type in Emulicious, go to their site, scroll down to download section. This is the version we want. Click on that and then it will download as a zip file. Obviously I've already got that, so I won't need that. And then this here is for myself to enable me to create a shortcut. So now we've downloaded, go to your downloads folder, extract Emulicious out of there into a folder called Emulicious. If you run this, you'll see there's a folder called GBDK. So extract that to GBDK. Now what we need to do is open another folder in your home directory, copy GBDK into here. All we want in this folder in our home directory is the examples folder and the libraries. Everything else we can remove. What we also want to do is copy this into the OPT folder, which is recommended by GBDK themselves. As you can see, I've already got one in here, so once you pasted that in there, once you've pasted that in, you're not going to need the examples because we'll be using that from a home folder, and you won't need any of the readmes. We can delete these from here. Once you've done that, go back to your downloads folder. With Emulicious, what we want to do is create a folder in our home directory called emulators. Open that and move Emulicious into there. Now what we need to do is edit our profile, and then in the bottom add this line so all future programs will know where to find GBDK. This line here is stated in the README file from GBDK. So now we've set up GBDK, you might need to restart and then come back in. So now let's create a new project in code blocks. navigate back to our 2024 folder, create a new folder, call it GBDev, and this will just be Hello GB. Click next, select no compiler, finish. Now in settings we need to set up a compiler to use for the Game Boy. So go to compiler, make sure you've got GNU GCC compiler selected at the top there, copy that, change the name of our new compiler to GBDK 2020, click OK. Now go into toolchain executables. Now we need to navigate to where GBDK was installed, which is OPT GBDK, and select the bin folder. Okay. Now what we need is to remove these and add LCC as the default compiler for everything. And then in our our search directories, add in back to OPT GBDK and select include, and then open, OK that, OK again, and that is GBDK 2020 compiler set up for you. Now what we need is to create a blank project to test things out with. Select C source file, next, C project, next, all, finish. Now we need to set up our project. Make sure you select GBDK 2020. OK that. Then in projects, go down to properties, tick, this is a makefile project, go into build project options. OK, then we go back into this again now. Go into the make commands, get rid of the top one. Then go to the release part and do exactly the same again below that. Just to make sure that that reflects on both parts. Now if everything's okay now, we should be able to hash include gb.h. What we also need to do is we need to copy across a makefile from one of the example folders. So if we move our window over to the left, open a new folder, navigate to GBDK, examples, GB, and then scroll down to the template minimal. Open another window to our project, which is in cdev gbdev hello GB. Copy our makefile across into that folder. Go back in code blocks, and we want to add that in so we can see it, because we'll need to amend it. I want to add files recursively. Now we need to put in the path to it. Which I believe is that there. Save all of that. Now you might need to bring up the debugger window so we can see if there's any errors. That's F2. Let's try building. Okay, looks like I've set up the path wrong. So let's rectify that. Yes, I have. Oh, forgot another slash. Happy days. So let's add some graphics to this first example. I'll create a custom data type first to save us having to type in unsigned char every time. Now what we want to do is to draw our smiley face. There's 16 bytes per tile on the Game Boy. So what this represents is the data to make up one tile. What this command does is it copies across array data into the tile memory on the Game Boy. So what we're doing here is we're setting tile 1 and we're only going to copy one tile, and then we're passing this here, which is the smiley face, and then we'll create a temporary variable there. This command here is for drawing tiles onto the screen. So you've got horizontal position first, which in our case will be X. There's your vertical, and then the tile number you want to draw. So we'll draw one horizontal line at the top and then another horizontal line at the bottom, and then we will call it a day. Right, now we've built this, if we minimize code blocks and then navigate to our folder, you'll see that there's now example.gb. Now to run this, we need to run it in Emulicious. Okay, let's make sure we do that. Run Emulicious, don't check for updates. Let's find our program. So cdev, gbdev, lgb, and here we go, is our example. And there you go, there's a line of smiley faces at the top there and one at the bottom. Okay, in this video I'm going to go over how to set up a shortcut to run our Gameboy ROMs with Emulicious without having to start up Emulicious individually each time. So I'll show you these two folders here. So go down to local share applications and you want to create a new document here. Edit that with text editor. Now if we open this one here, which I've already made and got working, then you basically want to add these lines in here. So this here says that this is a Java app. This here is the name of your home folder. This is the location where on my machine Emulicious is installed. Under emulators, Emulicious. And here it is there. Bung %F on the end of it there. And then save this as emulicious.desktop. So for purposes of this, I'll bung that in there. Save as emulicious2.desktop. Save that. Now if we close these, go back to local share applications, you see I've got a second one there. Right click on the properties and then permissions, allow executing as program. Close that. Now for your Gameboy ROM, if you right click on that, go on to open with, choose other applications, scroll down, choose Emulicious, set as default, OK that, and now in future it should boot up automatically. Hopefully you'll find that useful.